Right now, we are 8 days into April, which is Autism Awareness Month. And this is a time to spread awareness of the challenges and celebrate the differences of those affected by autism.
Yeah, and here to talk a little bit more about it is our parenting expert, Dr. Cheryl Ziegler. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Can you talk just a little bit about the basics? What is autism for someone who's not familiar?
Yes. So autism is both a neurological and social communication disorder. So what that means is we call it autism spectrum disorder because the spectrum is very wide, almost like unlike any other sort of diagnosis or condition that we talk about. So it can be mild, it can just be difficulty with communication, eye contact, maybe understanding social cues and nuance, all the way to nonverbal and not able to live independently and lots in between. Okay. So it's a very big spectrum.
Absolutely, and April's a really good chance to put this center stage, put a spotlight on it. We're actually wearing blue, which is the color for autism awareness. Why is this important to do?
It's really important because we're trying to, like many mental health issues, trying to reduce stigma and trying to really increase understanding. So you start with awareness, but there are some large autism societies and organizations that want to say, now we're moving on to acceptance. So yes, many people are aware. We're at the point where 1 in 36 kids are diagnosed on the autism spectrum. And we're also to the point where we're saying this is a neurodivergency. So that's a word I wanted to bring up today because some people might have heard of it and thought, I don't know exactly what that means, but we call it neurodivergent. Anybody who sort of thinks differently. That could be autism spectrum, that could be dyslexia, it could be ADHD. And so when we talk about that, that's getting to acceptance. It's saying, hey, it's not necessarily a bad thing or something that we need to be scared of. It's a difference. And so we need to all, as a society collectively, just understand it.
Yeah,
Truly.
No, that's great. What would you say is one important takeaway that we can all get from Autism Awareness Month this month?
I think it's that part of really understanding the differences in learning and saying to somebody, one takeaway is saying to somebody, like there's people first languaging, right? People with autism. And then there are people with autism though that are saying, I actually want to be identity first, meaning call me an autistic person. I'm really embracing this. I want other people to embrace it. So one thing to get out of this month is just to say, if you know somebody who identifies as autistic, say, how would you like me to refer to you?
Okay.
Which really gives them a sense of like pride
and
in
ownership.
their identity.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So don't assume one way or the other. Just ask, and that just asking and talking about it goes a really long way.
Now, you mentioned the statistic when it comes to kids. As adults, can you still be diagnosed with autism?
Yes. So usually we see it. Usually a diagnosis is younger only because you do see these social deficits, sometimes gross motor deficits. So sometimes those milestones in the toddler years aren't met. However, there are many adults who get diagnosed and they say, oh, this explains so much. And those are what we call usually level 1s. That means mild symptoms or high functioning or even Asperger's as it used to be called.
Right.
And so for those people, my experience has been a great relief.
Yeah.
Like I understand myself better now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is why.
Life-changing.
Yes, it really is. And it can really help in the college years to be associated with counseling centers, and there's university counseling centers that really help neurodivergency. So I think that if you are an adult or even an older teen, young adult, and you think, I've always wondered, it'd be great to get tested because I find it very, very affirming and validating for many people.
I mean, gosh, that would be life-changing as far as how you learn, take in information, you adjust,
Exactly.
living. I mean, I think it's a great thing to be aware of it and, like you said, to accept it.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Dr. Ziegler.